My name is Aiden Hebert. My major is sport management, and I'm a communication specialization and then doing a minor in digital marketing.
So my name is Lauren Lucia. I interned at the Trellis Center. My major is social services, and I am a senior.
My name is James Patrick. I was an intern last summer 2023, at BECU, or Boeing Employees Credit Union. I'm a business administration finance specialization student.
So I interned quite a few different places. Over the summer, I interned at Lumen Field working with Seahawks and doing different concerts, Mariners as well. And then here on campus, I've interned with athletics, and currently I'm interning with the Northwest Center for Sport. So my internship with Lumen Field, I was essentially a research and promotions intern, and then I assisted on like the club level for all their different activations. It's a lot of fun, got to meet a lot of different people, meet a lot of fans, and kind of see the behind the scenes of what happens on a club level at, a mega arena, hosting concerts and playing football games with Seahawks. After that, Mariners, which was guest experience, kind of right around the same thing. I got some diversity here on campus doing athletics internship and with the Northwest Center for Sport. Those have been great, doing activation promotions, helping out with different companies here locally and everything, getting them sponsored, showing them on the basketball court during the season. Now with the center, I get to use those contacts I made and reach out and try to help them give back to students here and find other opportunities for students.
So my role was just an intern. So I helped those who had autism, and I just kind of helped them with their daily needs. And I just kind of helped them, they kind of did garden tasks. So I helped them with what they needed. But I kind of stood back and waited till they asked for help, making sure they were more independent. And I just kind of just sat and watched them and kind of learned at the start what they needed and how they interact with the other staff and everything. My responsibility was just making sure that their consumers were staying safe to them and to others, but also making sure that they also were listening to the staff, but making sure they didn't have any kind of behaviors that were concerning to me, but also to the behavioral specialist on site. So we kind of worked a lot one-on-one. So I got to learn kind of their behaviors, what kind of got upset, what didn't make them upset. That was kind of interesting. I got to learn sign language, which was pretty cool. I got to learn another language that I didn't get to learn here at CEU a lot. I also got to learn a lot of leadership skills. I got to present in front of a different audience, kind of teaching them communication skills and how to communicate better for those who were kind of verbal, because some of them aren't verbal, which is kind of cool. I also got to teach them how to kind of be independent in different ways, kind of see them thrive, but also got to see their personalities kind of shine through.
I work as part of the commercial lending or consumer lending team, part of indirect lending, which has to do with directing funds from depositors at the credit union to people that want to buy new vehicles or RVs or any other stuff that they can buy through a dealership. So as part of the indirect lending team, it was my responsibility to audit and analyze incoming documents, loan documents from car dealerships, and make sure that all the information was accurate and within the guidelines that we were able to loan to these borrowers. So that depends on borrowers' credit scores and just financial stability. And over the course of the summer, I completed a lot of loans, and I was able to authorize and approve millions of dollars worth of loans over the summer.
I'm pretty much an assistant to the director of the Northwest Center for Sport. So I pretty much go to all of his meetings with him. I take notes. I make sure that, we have an agenda and a to-do list of things we need to do. And I make sure that we're on top of it with scheduling and that we get everything done. Our biggest one right now is CW Night with the Mariners, which is an alum event at T-Mobile Park. And that has been really fun because I've got to work with the alumni office here on campus, and I've got to work with different faculty members and, again, get that behind the scenes experience. And I think it's really helped diversify my resume. I would say networking skills for sure. My confidence in being able to talk to people has kind of skyrocketed. I've always kind of had a knack for being personable with people, but through my internship, being front and center, having to, make proposals, send out emails, pitch ideas, it's really helped gain my confidence in talking to people. And now I can just kind of walk into a room and just start kind of networking instantly and really make those connections that help, look for your next opportunity or help you, even years down the line. With the center, I've been most proud of the opportunities we've been able to create with our upcoming CW Night with the Mariners. It's each year they've done it, we've been able to kind of sell out. And I know last year I helped out a little bit, not so much intern, but more volunteer, and they sold 1,500 tickets. And this year we were able to sell over 2,000. And it was really cool working with them and, seeing the really high days where everyone's super excited and the kind of, we're a bit nervous days where we're not sure if we're going to make that quota or make the sales happen. And then to just announce the other day that we sold out was really cool, seeing it all come together. And it's really fun to meet alums because I've made so many different friends in my program and through the internship that have graduated now. And, I get to see them when we go to that event, and it's really cool catching up with them and talking to them. So that event's really special to me, and I was really happy to be a part of it.
For the first couple of weeks, I got to sit back and kind of watch and see how they work with them. And I always ask them questions at the beginning, hey, how does so-and-so handle this? And how does so-and-so handle this? Because that's how you get to learn. And I enjoyed learning their personalities too, because each staff member handles the situation differently. So I kind of picked up on their cues and it was awesome to see each consumer handled each staff member differently. And it was kind of cool. It was awesome, but it was also difficult to learn my ways to handle the consumers as well, because all of them are older than me and I'm 22 and they're 35, 40. And so having that authority figure with them is difficult. I always wanted to do more and do a lot in one day. And it was I had to slow it down. I'm the type of person that wants to go, go, go. And that they're only there from noon to 4, then they go back. And so I always was go, go, go. But I needed to learn to slow it down. And my brain's always going. And I really had to learn to slow it down.
Yeah, so before the internship, I wasn't super familiar with the financial intermediaries industry, or just the finance industry in general, or banking. So over the internship, I really learned a lot about banking and how financial institutions work, and just how much of a responsibility it is to keep consumers safe from being kind of manipulated from some of these car dealerships sometimes. I didn't really have any specific projects other than just kind of the daily operations within the Department of Indirect Lending. But overall, my time at Indirect Lending was really great, and I'm proud of the work that I was able to put in there. At the start of the summer, the department was very far behind on the quantity of loans that we had to analyze and approve. And I'm happy to say that by the end of the summer, I was able to help the department catch up almost completely.
I think the responsibility aspect of it, right? We're students, we have a really busy schedule, we have so many things going on, and, there's clubs also to be a part of on campus. And, sometimes an internship, you want one and you need one, but you're not sure how you're going to manage that. And I think, the hard part is, being honest with yourself and learning those time management skills that are going to be really helpful in the future as you go forward. But if you can nail down your time management and understand the responsibilities you now have, I think it's really rewarding, and it really helps because it pays off to end the week knowing that you accomplished something, or you accomplish all of your goals that you set. I've become so much more task oriented and goal minded, and really breaking things down. And that becomes for the people I have relying on me, the trust that's been instilled in me, and then the confidence I've gained. It's all different people in different walks, and again, it's that time management of knowing how to schedule things around classes, making sure, I'm still getting my assignments. School is first and foremost, but, if I can get all that taken care of, it's really rewarding to interact with all these different people, and you learn people to understand how to communicate better. And I think that just helps in every walk of life. No matter where you go, you're going to meet people from different backgrounds.
I think some challenges I faced was definitely learning their personalities and what made them upset. Definitely because each of them have their own things. Some of them their fizz, some of them squeeze. It's just learning it and learning them. Definitely it took some time, and it's a challenge because everyone's different, and it takes time, and it's still kind of a challenge.
It was very kind of a team-oriented internship. I was communicating with my coworkers every single day just over Microsoft Teams, and then of course in person the one time at the headquarters, which was my favorite day of the internship, being able to actually meet everybody. And I really wish I had been able to see them more. Still being able to communicate with everybody, it was great.
It's all about networking. I mean, with any job, I'm sure with every major, you have to, network and meet people. And I think for me, what was great about this internship was, I joined a club first and was active in that, and then met the faculty advisors who then led to kind of this internship opportunity I have now. And I think it's helped a lot because it's opened my horizon. We've done so many different, events and so many different seminars and talks that you meet all these different people and you really get to explore what you want. Because when I first started here, what I wanted to do in sports is not what I want to do now. And, 6 months ago, if you told me like, hey, you're going to graduate and go get a job, I'd be like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. What I wouldn't have known is that upon graduation, I'm actually going to go get my MBA. So I'm actually going somewhere else to go get an MBA and like explore that opportunity and delve more and work in college athletics a little bit more to gain that more experience. And that was an opportunity that I didn't think I was going to do or was possible. And like through working this internship, meeting people and having these conversations and getting feedback, it really led me to realize like, hey, if I want to make it to professional sports, I need to go get this skill set because this is what I want to do, and this place can help me do that.
It's a really good opportunity to get kind of not just a foot in the door if you do end up wanting to work in that industry, but also just like discover if you like working in the industry that your internship is with. Because I think ultimately what I discovered is that I might not want to work in banking or the credit union industry. So I might not have known that if I hadn't done the internship, and then my career, I could have gotten an entry-level job right out of college in that industry and then discovered then that I didn't like it and had to switch later. So I think it's really good to just kind of try it out and see if you'll like doing it for a career before you're actually committed to working that job.
Again, like I'm constantly wanting feedback, and it's good, but sometimes it can be a bit much where maybe sometimes you're a little too scared to send that email, or you're a little too nervous to, ask for more feedback because you feel like, oh man, I'm just asking so many questions. But in an internship, like that's what you're there to do. Like you're there to ask questions. You're there to constantly get feedback. Like that is the whole point of learning from these people. And I think for me, it was like learning that it's okay to ask all those questions, but then eventually trusting myself to know that, hey, I've gotten the feedback. I understand how this works. I can make this decision on my own and send this email or request this meeting or, push this project forward on my own because I now have that confidence in myself through the faculty members I've worked with trusting in me, and then now me just trusting myself.
And so even though I'm working with adults with disabilities, it helps me like kind of understand overall people with disabilities, and it lets me know like different strategies to help them handle their emotions no matter what, how coping skills will work, and that it's a really great opportunity just to work with different people because everyone's gonna like handle emotions better, which is in that being in the social services field, you never know what's gonna be thrown at you. Definitely if you're working in like CPS or anything, you just never know what's gonna be thrown at you. That you think you can do it all, that you'll need like help and support from like the other staff you're working with, and it's okay to like take a break when you need to step out, because sometimes you just need to step out and take a breather because sometimes those people have a lot of questions at once that you cannot answer.
Honestly, I think the most valuable takeaway that I had was just kind of the value of hands-on experience and work in two different ways. One, that remote work might not always give you the exact hands-on opportunities that you're looking for from an internship. I mean, it sounds great and you will learn a lot, but had the internship been in person, I think I would have learned even more. And as well as the fact that getting the opportunity just to work in a new industry, having that hands-on experience is almost more valuable than a lot of the time that you may spend at college just in your classes. You're going to learn real world things that can transfer to your career, whereas sometimes some classes might not give you that. So there is a huge value of being able to experience what a real job is going to be like in your field.
If there was anything else I could share for anyone like looking for internships, and like I know like it's scary and like these different things, or whatever your reason for like not doing it, I think getting involved on campus and talking more to faculty members help. Like when I first got here, I was a transfer student and I didn't know anything and I didn't know where to find internships. I was so nervous. And then I started talking to professors, found a club to join. I joined the club, which was a sport management association, became president of that club, and then, met more faculty members. And that led to so many different opportunities and internships and everything. And I've seen other people too, and with different clubs, not just the club I'm in, become employed after work, or even get that internship just during school or during the summer. And so I think you got to take that first step. And if you can just like get involved with school somehow, whether it be an internship, talking to your professor after class, joining a club, I think all of that's going to build your confidence and help you find that opportunity.